fucking worried. Fucking thing.
Oh, I needed that. Who is it today?
Arachne.
Well, looks like you're getting on okay.
Yeah, not too bad. I hate having to do the crossword on a bloody A4. It's always wet or bumpy.
Well, why have you printed it out? Why aren't you doing it in the newspaper?
Well, you've got our newspaper.
Are you serious?
You know you have.
But it's not our newspaper, is it? It's just a newspaper. Why don't you buy another one?
You know that they cost £2 now, don't you? That'll be £4 a day.
Except it's not £4 a day, is it? Because we're separate people. We don't live together. You might as well add up all the money your friends spend on The Guardian and say it's £50 a day.
More like 6.
Oh, for God's sake, you've got hundreds of friends. Lots of friends. Now, look, how about this? If you move back in, don't buy a second paper.
Oh, my God, how is this about our marriage? How come every conversation ends up at our marriage? I thought that a stupid printout of a crossword was safe ground.
You never heard of subtext?
Yes, but I think you're reading too much into it. As my mother used to say when I talked to her about Bob Dylan.
Was she right or wrong?
She was wrong. I'm right. Sometimes a crossword is just a crossword, and it's hard to do when the paper gets wet.
This conversation could have gone in an entirely different way.
For instance?
You could have not mentioned the wet paper.
Well, I wouldn't have had I known that complaining about the wet paper and the bumpy
Believe
paper
me,
on
I
the
know it's not a
table.
frivolous
If I had known that complaining about the wet paper
bumpy
was going to
bits.
turn into the opening scene of a Bergman
Should we just
film.
start this again?
Now the fucking ink's all
Oh,
blotchy.
Jesus Christ.
Have I gone wrong already?
Yes.
How?
I wanted you to ask me what sort of day I've had.
How was I supposed to know that? What sort of day have you had?
It's too late now.
Oh.
Have you noticed how we only ever seem to be able to talk about the last few seconds?
That's not true. Is it?
Yes. We start talking and then somebody says the wrong thing and then we spend the rest of the time talking about the wrong thing somebody said. It happens in here, it happens in counselling.
No, we always come out in exactly the same place we went in.
Or a little further back, usually.
Well, how do we stop that?
I don't know. What happened last week?
I can't remember. I remember we were in here having a conversation about our future spouses, which we both rather enjoyed.
Then what? Oh, she asked us how the week had been.
Yeah, she always does that.
Yes, and then...
Did we have the argument about the cost of the cat's antidepressants? Was that the week before?
Oh, I've got it. It's called The Midwife.
Oh, yes.
That didn't get us very far, did
Oh, I
it?
thought it was rather useful.
In what way?
Well, she interrupted you a couple of times to let me finish. You never let me finish. So it taught me the value of counselling and safe spaces.
I only interrupt when you're talking about Call the Midwife, and that's because there's no end to your loathing. You know, I quite enjoy it. I find it rather relaxing.
Well, you shouldn't.
I shouldn't.
Why can't you find the films of Preston Sturges relaxing?
Can I make a confession?
Within reason.
I don't really like black and white movies. I mean, I can see that they're good, some of them, but I just... There's something about them that feels a bit like eating your greens.
The Palm Beach stories.
Yes.
Maltese Falcon.
Yes.
Jules et Jim.
Yes. I'm worried. I'm worried here that you're going to name every black and white film ever made, and I'm going to say yes to all of them.
Oh, my God. I had no idea.
I'm just not a critic, you know? I like what I like.
You like what you like? I mean, I just never thought I'd end up with someone who would say that and mean it. I mean, what does that make me?
I don't know, maybe you're reading too much into it.
But this is the trouble. Marriage is like a computer. You open it up to see what's inside, and then you're left with a million little bits.
Yeah, but how about this? We shove the big parts back in, we chuck all the small ones away, we close it up, we get on with things.
But it won't work.
No, it won't work, but it will look like a computer.
Is that what you're after? You're after a marriage that looks like a marriage but won't actually function?
It might be better than what I've got now, because at the moment I have a husband who won't sleep with me and lives somewhere else entirely. I might as well tell everyone I'm married to Brad Pitt.
Okay, well, good luck getting him to watch Call the Bloody Midwife.
He doesn't have to watch it, he just has to not bang on about how much he hates it.
Okay, we're drifting off the subject.
Look, should we do a couple of crossword clues before we go in? As a kind of morale-boosting exercise. Oh, God, that's wet. That's a bit annoying. Game of cricket puts strain on marriage. Test match.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy one. I usually leave those till the end.
Remember, we're team building, not point scoring. Okay, party touring Russian capital to shared bed.
Are you just picking out the clues that are about marriage?
No. Shared bed doesn't mean marriage.
As we now know.
Okay, let's do another one. Right, 12 across. We need that one. Rogue, court, mate, dividing loot. Ignore the word mate.
No, I can't. It's a crossword.
Begins with S, ends with G.
Okay, well, looteth swag. So...
Scallywag.
Scallywag.
Ally in swag.
Oh, all right. Good. Morale boosted. Team rebuilt.
Should we actually make a plan for this evening's session? Let's not go in there and start arguing about something completely bloody irrelevant. Let's go in with an agenda. What are the big pieces that we want to shove back into the computer? I don't even know if computers have big pieces.
Well, they must. Must. I mean, there's batteries and valves and not microchips. They're small. You know, I could take apart that dead computer at the house. I could bring it home with me after I've had dinner with the boys.
Would that be a good use of your time?
And as good as anything else.
I hate you not having anything to do.
Oh, thank you. So do I.
I suppose I meant it sympathetically, but also I find it embarrassing.
Oh.
Sorry. You haven't started that biography yet.
I'm still researching. I may need to go to Capo Verde.
Is that where your guy came from? What was his name again?
Horace Silver.
Really? I thought you decided on someone else in the end.
Turned out to not be the end.
Right. So Horace came from Capo Verde?
No, his dad.
You're going to Capo Verde because that's where his dad was born. How many copies is this book going to sell?
Not nearly enough to cover the cost of the flight.
So,
Yes, expensive and, you know, pointless. I probably won't go. Probably won't even write the book. I don't know why I say any of this shit.
To give yourself hope, that's understandable.
Yeah, but I don't think there is much hope. I mean, the world has changed. Nobody wants a music writer. There's no paid work. Time has moved on. I'm like a coal miner or a blacksmith. What's it like being married to an unemployed blacksmith?
Look, you couldn't see the internet coming, just like blacksmiths couldn't see cars coming.
They should have seen cars coming. I mean, it was only a matter of time.
So you're saying you're smarter than a blacksmith?
Not as such. I'm just saying if my father had been a blacksmith and then he had given me the keys to his shop, I would have been like, hold on, Dad. This is in the past, isn't it?
Right, so now if you prove to me that you are smarter than a blacksmith, how far down the road towards marital harmony will that get us?
I was just defending myself.
No, you weren't. You were attacking blacksmiths for their bad choices.
I need to take pleasure where I can get it. Attacking blacksmiths is pretty much where I'm at.
You thinking we should give Kenyon up?
Yes. 1,000 yes every week. Oh, yeah, you?
We're going backwards, like you said.
Oh. Well, he's not getting any quicker.
Well, she's a counsellor, not a personal trainer.
How are you getting on?
What?
With Kenyon. We couldn't help but notice you knocking on the door last week.
I mean, I believe it's a private matter. No.
We've watched you coming out.
Speak for yourself. I'm sorry about her. I'm not interested in other people's personal business.
We think she's very good. We've been seeing her on and off for years. No different problems, different stages of life. At the beginning, you have to get through all the hurt and all the petty niggles. It takes time. But you're young and you've got lots of it. Anyway, good luck.
Well, that was rather sweet, don't you think? Like a film. An elderly woman gives a younger couple good advice and saves their marriage.
Yeah, it's like a colour film, if ever I saw one. Do you hear what she said? Years and years of hurt and niggle?
Well, maybe we can do it quicker.
Not at the rate we're going. With Call the Midwife and soggy crossword gate, we'll be going here for 50 years.
All right, so let's get down to it.
What does that mean?
Give it to each other straight.
No more subtext?
No more subtext.
Oh, okay. Bring it on.